I have with me Shang, in studio here, a comedian, actor, producer, and artist originally from New York who has appeared on CBS, The Late Show, as well as BET, HBO, and Stars.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in.
No problem, man. Yeah, no, I actually checked you out many times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why when he told me, I went, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
What's your impression?
You don't seem like a psycho. I don't think you're like I don't think you have a van rolling around schools or you come off as a man. Like, this is my point of view. That's it. And that's good. I'd rather have somebody that has a distinct point of view than somebody's kind of up in the air, wishy-washy.
That's right.
Those kind of people I want to just.
Well, I appreciate you coming in after checking me out.
Yeah. This is prior to knowing I was coming on. Like, so it's not like when he said, "Do you know?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Oh, okay. That's great, man. So are you a liberal?
Yeah, I'm a liberal.
You're a liberal?
I would say I'm a liberal.
Really? And why?
I lean more towards liberal.
And why are you a liberal?
Because I think that sometimes conservative thought can be stagnant. Sometimes it doesn't leave as much wiggle room for other thought. And if you look at conservatism across the board, even with technology, if we had people that were conservative pertaining to technology, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. So I have a tendency to lean a little bit more liberal, but I have some conservative thoughts.
Did you decide on your own to become a liberal? Who made that decision for you?
I decided on my own.
Oh, you did?
I've been pretty, on my own anyway.
Right.
In life. I didn't have like an older guy tell me this is what you should be and that's what you should do. I just kind of, as I navigated through the world, I was like, okay, this is how I see things, and I can't be so stringent when it comes to, it has to be this hard line. And I found that some of the conservative people I've dealt with had such a hard line that they didn't leave wiggle room.
Give me an example of a hard line. Let me first ask, were you raised by your father?
Both.
You were raised by father and mother?
Yeah.
Father was in the home?
No.
Your father and mother were not together?
No, they weren't together.
So how did he raise you then?
Because I was around him and with him.
You would go and visit him?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Give me an example of hardline conservatism.
I think a hardline conservatism when it comes to crime, sometimes I just go, no, that's not right. There's wiggle room there. There's room to look at it from a different perspective. So that was one of the first things that made me go,
Meaning that if you don't do the crime, if you do the crime, you shouldn't do the time?
If you do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. But
you should not, or you should?
You should.
And so how's that hard line then?
But there's a tendency sometimes with the justice system to automatically assume and make a hard line when it's not the case. When you look at all the police brutality that's been going on and you see video of somebody, I saw you, dude. You can't say, it was somebody, I saw you do wrong. And this
There's no such thing as police brutality.
There's no such thing as police brutality?
No, that's a made-up lie by the left, too. If you notice the people that they...
What?
Right. If you notice the people that they accuse of being... that this is happening to blacks who are committing crimes,
right,
or giving the police bad attitude when they are stopped. Decent people are not being harassed or anything. Decent black
people are being harassed.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they absolutely are.
So have you noticed, though, that it's the criminals, the blacks who are committing the crimes that this is happening with?
No, I don't think Tamir Rice was a criminal.
But
he was shot in 30 seconds. He didn't even give him 30 seconds.
Why was he shot?
Because he had a toy gun.
And did they know that?
Okay, but what you're supposed to do is yell out, "Drop the gun." He was already there he was behind the car.
Did the cop know it was a toy gun?
You don't pull up and just shoot a 13-year-old.
You're not answering my question. Did the cop know it was a toy gun?
He didn't know, but what you're supposed to do is say, "Drop the gun." You're supposed to give a warning.
So let me ask.
So you don't give a 13-year-old a warning?
Let me ask.
He's
there
13-year-old.
were calls into the police department that there's this black guy out here in the park waving a gun.
Okay.
And Tamir had taken off the little orange tipping on it at the head of the gun,
and you still,
which would have indicated that it was a BB gun, right? And so he's taking that off. They get these calls that this guy waving a gun. They didn't know if it was a BB gun because he had taken off the tip. That's not true. And so the cop shows up. The guy pulled the gun out of his front of his pants there.
We saw the tape. He didn't. No. It
so
was
how was the cop to know?
You're supposed to say a warning.
But that doesn't make sense to me. The guy's pulling out the gun.
It was not even 30 seconds. Okay, let's do it from this standpoint.
Give me another example.
If it was a white 13-year-old, I'll give you an example. If it was a white 13-year-old, which we have seen white people do incredibly crazy stuff, incredibly crazy. The double standard there, where if that was a white kid, they would have said, drop the gun. Just like it's like they give them so much double standard, and they give them so much. Well, they got privilege. I get that. But
how do you know they
standard.
didn't say drop the gun?
He never even said that.
How do you know that? You saw it on video.
No,
you just saw it when it came in.
No, not only on video. He never said he gave him a warning.
And this example
that's why people were upset.
No.
People weren't upset just because.
People were upset because they were brainwashed by
the liberal
black
media
leaders and the liberal media.
So you think the liberal media, with all these different instances of police brutality, all these different instances, like blatant, we seen it. What about the guy in Miami?
Let me just
what
ask
about the guy in Miami that had his
Rice.
hands up in the air,
Does it matter
25
that the
feet away?
cops told him said to him, hands up to Tamir? Did that matter to you?
Did they say that?
Yes.
He said
hands up.
Oh, he said hands up.
Yes.
So automatically you shoot.
Does that matter?
That might matter somewhat.
Might
somewhat. That's why I said it's not a hard line.
What do you think about what happened in Charlottesville?
I think it's, again, example of a double standard. Say there was 1,000 black men with sticks, bats, and waving red, black, and green flags or whatever. Do you really think that the police would have stood back as much? Do you think they would have not shown their presence a little bit more aggressively than they did in this situation?
Do I think that the cops would have stood back had that been, as alt-right, been a bunch of black folks?
Right.
I hope not. But yes, nowadays the cops will stand back with his black people. Look how they have allowed this radical evil group, Black Lives Matter, to just raise hell in this country.
How are they radical? How is Black Lives Matter as radical as Nazis and white supremacists? How are they as radical?
What do we want? Dead cops? When do we want
absolutely.
it now?
There's factions.
Is that radical?
There's absolutely factions of everybody.
So you agree that Black Lives Matter?
Not even close. It's
you agree that Black Lives Matter is a radical group?
No, they are not a radical group.
What
do
we want? Dead cops?
No, if there's 2 or 3 people that said something like that, which absolutely happened, as opposed to
more than 2 or 3.
As opposed to the amount of people that just want police to be fair and not to just shoot us right off the bat. Give us the same leeway you would give someone else. If a black young man shot 9 people in a church, they wouldn't have gotten a chance to stop at Burger King and get a burger.
That's amazing.
That's what happened.
When I come back, you said it's white privilege that none of the white activists were killed in Charlottesville. Did you really say that?
No, I did not say that at all.
Oh, they have it here. It doesn't sound like something anyone would.
No, I didn't say
common sense would say.
Yeah, but I didn't say that.
All right.
I said it was a double standard.
So you didn't say that.
I didn't say. No, I didn't say that here today.
You didn't say it's white privilege that none of the white activists were killed in Charlottesville.
No, I didn't say that.
But on your Instagram, it was a meme that you.
And it didn't say that I didn't warrant. I don't condone anyone being killed. I didn't say that, and the meme doesn't say that either. Again, that wasn't said at all. What I said was, if they showed up.
We have the picture of it right now.
Okay, it's a red, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it say they should be killed anywhere?
They showed up with guns, sticks,
and went home alive.
Tortures.
Right.
And they all went home alive for those who keep asking that. White privilege.
Okay, so and there was a young lady. There was a 30.
They showed up with that, with those, because they were protecting themselves.
They were protecting themselves
from Antifa and Black Lives Matter and others who always show up armed and ready to attack the people on the right.
Black Lives Matter always shows up armed.
Yes, to white rally. We just saw it in Charlottesville.
Okay, so you're saying that they showed. So you're trying to say, I'm asking you directly, Jesse. You're trying to say to me that the Nazi and the alt-right, which is pretty much, the KKK, there's factions of the KKK. So you're saying they showed up for a peaceful rally to talk about hymns and butterflies.
No, it was about a protest against taking down Robert E. Lee's statue.
Right, it was initially about the statue.
Right. But
so you're saying that these people that showed up, all of them, their intention, people who are white privileged, people who are alt-right, people who are, all of their intentions.
No such thing as white privilege,
okay,
by the way.
There's no such thing as white privilege.
But
okay.
there were other people who came to protect them from Antifa and Black Lives Matter, who came, by the way, with frozen Coke cans and rocks and bricks and things.
No, there's absolutely was people that were wrong on both sides.
So that's
but it's
why
a false equivalency.
That's
it's not
why
the same.
right showed up. Some of them on the right showed up to protect themselves from Antifa and others.
So there was no footage.
Do you understand that part?
Okay, I understand that part. But the percentages matter. 10 is more than 2. So you're saying to me that these people that showed up, these Nazis, self-proclaimed Nazis, self-proclaimed alt-right, self-proclaimed flat-out KKK, these people came and they had no weapons. And they didn't show up to start trouble. They just came.
No, they did not show up to start trouble. They showed up to protest against taking down the statue. But because of in past rallies, Antifa and others have showed up.
In past rallies.
And attacked them. We saw it in Oakland. We saw it in other areas. So they were protecting themselves from that. Do they have a right to do that?
They have a right to protect themselves. But to say they showed up to just be peaceful.
It is.
It's kind of a stretch.
They would not have done that had they had not to protect themselves.
You don't think it's a stretch?
No, it's not. It's the truth.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You see, I'm not one of those people that just literally writes people off. So I'm not going to come off that way. But at the same time, it's a false equivalency to say that one group is as violent as another group. To say Black Lives Matter, who are evil and cruel and they show up and they just want cops to die is absolutely, positively not the truth. It's simply not the truth. But I understand that I understand America right now likes to deal with fact-free things. This kid that drove and killed a woman, that's what they mean. That woman didn't go home alive. She came to protest. She was not violent and was ran over by a car. On purpose.
Because of time.
Not by accident.
Let me just say this to you.
Not by accident.
The one thing
19 people
One
injured.
thing I want you to
One
know,
person killed.
one thing I want you to know with all that is within me, Black Lives Matter is not about truth. They're not about facts.
Okay.
They're not about love. Most of them have no idea why they're out there anyway. They're just being used in order to bring destruction in the country. But I want to ask this. A lot of people
Kaepernick was trying to bring the NFL down.
I was about to ask you about Kaepernick. Yes. I saw this morning.
Kaepernick is trying to bring the NFL down.
Fox News is reporting that football player Marshawn Lynch. You know him?
Lynch. Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, beast
of
mode.
the Oakland Raiders made headlines because he sat through the National Anthem. And you support Kaepernick for doing that, right?
Absolutely, unequivocally.
You supported him.
Yes, because that what America's about?
No.
Freedom of choice?
No.
It's a song. It's a racist song,
How about showing respect to your country for giving you the freedom and opportunity to do what these guys are able to do?
Wow.
You're showing respect to the country.
You're showing respect to the country by standing for a song that the second stanza is absolutely positively racist.
How's that racist?
The second stanza, have you heard the song?
That's amazing.
Have you heard the whole song?
So then
have you heard the whole song?
Why not just don't play football, go and do whatever Kaepernick is doing now?
I can't do an activity because I don't.
No, because you're working for someone else.
But that's not part. But there's nothing in his contract said, and you must stand. There was nothing in his contract.
Who would think that someone going to sign a contract with your company, right? Agreeing to all these things, and they have nothing else to do but act out in the way that Kaepernick and
he didn't act out. He was
done.
Quiet. He kneeled. What did he do? What about the football players? There's a quarterback that said he beat his wife 20 times, and he still signed.
Where's Kaepernick now?
He's still waiting to see if he signed. You know why?
I rest my case.
You rest your case, but that means the NFL is showing it's not.
Rid of that
they didn't
guy.
do the right thing.
He's a bum.
The NFL, he's not a bum. If you look at his his ratings on the field.
He's a bum.
He is better
no one
than
cares about
he
that.
is better. Nobody cares about
No.
that. But if it's the NFL, that's what you hired him for.
If he cannot show
There
respect
are
to
people
the
that
country,
there are people who are rapists.
he doesn't deserve to be there.
There's football that they signed that are rapists, women abusers.
All you're doing is
drug addicts.
making up other. You're
I'm
trying
not
to
making up anything.
justify
That's not a
one
fact.
bad behavior
No.
with another one.
Then be
Why are
that
you
way
doing
across
that?
the board.
You're trying to justify one
So
bad
he
behavior with
spoke
another.
out on police brutality, and he did
No
it
such
at-
thing.
There's no such thing. Okay, he spoke
Isn't
out.
he dating a Muslim woman?
Okay, wow. Yes, he might be dating a Muslim.
And she's
What does that have to
radical.
do?
Does
And
that
she's
have
radical.
anything to do with what he did?
No,
It doesn't.
he was like that before.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming in, man.
You are. Let me tell you something. You. Even though I disagree with you categorically, you have sensibilities.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
go.
that.